In the art space, you often see people use generative AI to scam people with digital art, but you don't often see it happen as much using traditional works. But there is a call out post that leads to a bigger rabbit hole of something that's happening in the traditional art space. So let's delve into the story of this painter who maybe isn't painting at all. And again, please don't send hate to any parties involved. So this kicks off with a call out post made by Threads user Canolani Life, writing, "Now I'm pissed all the way off. Not only are there whole AI influencer accounts, but there are now AI accounts pretending to be real artists, creating physical artwork. What the F? They just started and they already have 12,000 followers." So this is just a screenshot of the person's account, and we'll delve into the account in a second, but their username is Arthur Ron. And it features a woman with brown hair tied up in a bun, loose, messy curls around her face. She's wearing like a white shirt and like a smock over it, and is sketching on a canvas that it looks like she's gonna paint over. This is already, to me, a bit interesting because I definitely feel like white is a choice to wear if you're gonna be painting. Hey, people can wear whatever you want, but like you're gonna get paint on that white tank top, and it's not gonna be white for very long if you're painting, but it is what it is. But again, their sketch piece is of a woman. She's kind of wearing like a floral robe or cloak of some sort, but really notably, she has a ton of flowers obscuring her eyes. We'll revisit that in a second. But OP adds, not to beat a dead horse, but also I just looked through the Etsy. The whole thing is ChatGPT and just mass-produced prints. There are no real photos of the art ever. Look at the paint in this video on their Etsy. It's absolutely deplorable to try to convince people this is real art. And this is one of the Etsy videos where you can see they kind of have like a little tool and they're applying what looks like paint on a canvas. It's so thick that it looks like they're applying like putty of some sort. Now, I rarely ever do traditional art, so I don't know what this could be. It kind of looks like it's like that knife technique people are using, as an AI is trying to replicate that, but it's so thick. This again, it literally looks like they're applying like whipped cream to a canvas. But if you look at the video of them applying the paint, it doesn't kind of make sense because this piece looks already finished. It is like a giant wave, kind of maybe an inspiration of that Japanese wave painting, but it looks already done with like texture of waves and stuff like that, of the white water already drawn in, and then they just go in with this brush and then just smudge everything out. So they completely wipe it off. So I guess they're maybe going to paint over it, but that's definitely interesting given the fact that it looks completed already. So this post was also posted a day ago, right? And somebody says, already that many followers? That's so unfair and it should be forbidden. AI destroys human creativity. And OP says 13,000 followers now, if any of them are even real. And another person adds, what the F? That looks like a ripoff of B.Lilybridge. And B.Lilybridge, aka Brandon, responds, this is crazy. It looks exactly like one of mine, crying emoji. And another commenter says, yes, I saw the sketch and immediately thought, I know this motive. I've seen this before. It's awful. Because yes, it looks like a piece that is very reminiscent of Brandon Lilybridge's work. Whereas Brandon is really notable for doing paintings like this, of women with their eyes obscured, notably with flowers. Here are just some of Brandon's paintings. We can have another video example of Brandon's paintings. Again, absolutely stunning. And here again, he has a piece of a woman wearing that with a robe on. So let's take a look at this person's page, shall we? Between yesterday and today, they've now gained another 900 followers. They're almost at 14,000 followers, and they have a lot of different art pieces. Notably, in fact, in a ton of different styles, because somehow they can paint both abstract work and this more kind of like abstract but also realistic work, the one, in the style of Brandon, and then pieces like this, landscape pictures, and then we have this stylized art style. Everything is somehow really different. And yes, even though it is in the same or similar medium, right? Still, the subject matter, when it is this specialized, typically artists don't necessarily deviate too much away from subject matter that they tend to favor. Like we saw with Brandon's, right? Like Brandon obviously has painted other stuff too, but typically this is a lot of what you could expect from Brandon because, this is Brandon's art style. This is the subject matter he likes to capture. And again, occasionally Brandon has other styles of painting. Like, this one. It was definitely always interesting when you see a huge variety of different art styles. It makes me feel like, But every single video looks like this, okay? Because it features the same woman putting a really, really big dollop of paint on the canvas. And then we have a clip of her like staring at it. And then a majority of it, though, is just like a long clip of the painting hung up somewhere. We have another one where she's doing the same thing, kind of painting with the knife, like on the canvas. And this looks so AI generated. She's wearing the same outfit in every single video. This is the video of the picture of the piece that looks really similar to Brandon's, but to me looks odd because the flowers are painted on before the face was painted on. Now, maybe that order makes sense, but I mean, for me thinking about it, I feel like you would paint the face first, no, then the flowers afterwards, because the flowers are the really textured part that stands out on top of the canvas. We have another one. She somehow gets a brand new workspace, so that's interesting. And this is a completely different art piece. What's interesting too is you can see that like she's painting and like things aren't appearing because this is AI generated. This is not real. She's not a real person. Here we have another one. Like she just stands there and her left arm just hangs limply the entire time. And then again, another montage of the painting being hung up in some room. And again, you might be like, well, Kat, how do you know it's fully AI generated? Maybe it's real and it was like post-processed through AI. Well, you see, we have this video. She unveils that horse painting, right? She's sketching the horse on. What is that? What is that? That is the Google Gemini logo. They didn't even fucking hide it in the bottom corner of the video. Absolutely caught in 4K. And one thing I want you to notice is look at the tubes of paint that's being used. The text on the paint is not consistent between paint 2 to paint 2, but these look like they should be the same brand. If this Gemini logo wasn't obvious enough for you. Right here, we have another video, another clip of her painting. Mind you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fingers in this clip. Also with the Gemini logo. They aren't even trying to hide it. But wow, now we have, see look, another Gemini logo. This one, they did a really bad job of trying to hide this. So she hangs it up. Not on my watch. Oh, an absolute 4K. Look at that. Now, if you notice in all of these videos though, there is this Art Trio logo in the top left-hand corner. What possibly could this be? Wow, if you look up Art Trio, it takes you to a website. The website is, featuring trusted worldwide collectors, mediums, whatever. Look at all of these happy people with their abstract art, where all of these people conveniently also look very AI generated. And now we have a lot of paintings. And you can see, wow, how your farmhouse can be illuminated by this top-down beach painting of waves coming in. And wouldn't you know it, they have an Etsy shop as well. Apparently they're based in Hong Kong. And these are the same paintings, right? That vintage abstract horse. This was the one that I just showed you. Miss Ma'am had the Gemini logo in the bottom corner. And here's different images of how you could imagine it hung up in your place. And they're just straight up, in my opinion, lying under their descriptions. Handmade artwork disclaimer. Each painting is 100% hand-painted and many are made to order. Small variations may occur. During the painting process, we'll share photos or videos for you to review. So about this, the artist is apparently a person named Elena Moore. But for some reason, the store's name is Koval? Well, Koval looks to be the seller. And then if you go to the about, there's a video summary of the studio featuring pictures of this woman who doesn't look like the same person in the videos that we saw. And then, she gives a little blurb, a little backstory as to why she started this shop. Shop member is Amelia. So what's your name? What is your name? Elena or Amelia or Koval? Or, none of these are real, possibly. And you know what's also crazy is that if you reverse image search some of the paintings, like this skiing one, there's other random art sites that are also selling paintings like this for around the same price of like $180. Like this one, Cecile Art, is also a page that's selling artwork like this. Conveniently, we also got the horse one. And then if you scroll down, timeless art for modern spaces, featuring more photos of AI-generated people painting. And these sites also acclaim everything is hand-painted by professional artists. We don't use print or digital reproductions. But all of these dudes look super AI-generated. Also on a side note, I think all of the skiing stuff is inspired by this other artist called Golsa Golcini. I hope I'm saying their name right. But they do a lot of textured artworks, kind of like this, because I remember seeing this piece and I remember thinking this was sick as hell. But I mean, if you order the painting, right, this was what was advertised. People are showing images of the paintings that look kind of similar. But yeah, I definitely don't think that Arthur Ron, this account, is just one individual, the person that is being shown in the video, painting these paintings, and then selling it to you as one person who will draw it the way that you want if you don't like the colors or whatever. I feel like it's just some middleman company, right, who is manufacturing all of these paintings for cheap, probably with some painters from overseas that are being paid pretty low amounts of money. And then we have this AI generated page fronting as the artist, pretending they are just one person doing it when it's just a conglomeration or an organization. That is my personal theory at the end of the day, but I rarely see like AI generated scammers in the traditional art space, at least from what I've seen, mainly because I operate more in the digital side of things. So it's honestly wild to see. It was like I wanted to snoop, and then finding that Gemini logo was like, well, caught in 4K right here. So at the end of the day, what are your thoughts about this? Because have you seen this before? Because this is my first time seeing it. So I wanted to share it with y'all. Again, don't send hate to any parties involved, but stay vigilant, guys. And with that, if you like this video, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. I went to Warped Tour, had a lot of fun, got the worst sunburn ever. We don't talk about it. We don't talk about it. I wore a crocheted sweater that has holes in it that I crocheted the night before because I wanted to look cute, and I forgot to put on sunscreen on my arms. So that happened. Don't forget to check me out on Etsy or Coffee, or follow me on Instagram. I'm working towards 100K. We're slowly creeping up there. So it would mean a lot if you'd like to drop a follow there. Or I also stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays and Saturdays, 6 p.m. PST, or Thursdays at 7:30, where I do a podcast with my friend. Hope to catch y'all there or in another video. Peace.